Okay. Hey fam, it's your girl, Miss Diva Trucker. I'm coming to you with another video tonight, and I'm starting to do these recorded videos because it gives me a little bit more one-on-one or intimate time with you guys without all the interruptions and things like that. So I'm going to just do videos that are on my mind and my thoughts and things like that. And tonight, y'all gotta excuse my nephew. I got my nephew over here, guys. So let me make sure that you all can hear me. You want to say hello? I guess you want to be on camera. You want to say hello?
Hey.
Say hi.
Hey.
Who are you?
Tristan.
Tristan, how old are you?
Now I'm going to turn 10 in 20 days.
You're getting ready to turn 10 in 20 days, right? So when you turn from 9 to 10, what does that mean?
I guess I'm heading into double digits.
Double digits for you? Okay, you're going into double digits.
Yeah, but I really don't want to have that double digits party.
Oh, you don't?
Because I mind that my mom be there for my
Oh,
double digits party.
you miss your mom?
Very much.
What do you miss about your mom?
The way that, well, I know that she'll just stop laughing.
Right.
Like that time where she asked what she's talking in her sleep, I say, yeah. She said what she said. I said, you're talking about her job. She just started laughing.
Wow, okay. So it's good that you have those memories about your mom, right? It always makes you smile, right?
Yeah.
And you can remember the good times and things like that, right? And you know that she's always like watching over you, right? You know that? Because I see a difference in the way you act. You know, you are more well behaved and things like that. So I would think that she would be very proud of you, right? Right? You turn out to be a teenager and then a young man and all this kind of stuff. So you're doing really well, right? Okay. What you like being over your auntie house?
Mm, I just like it.
You like staying over here with me? You don't think I'm mean?
I never give you a reason to be.
What about when I be yelling all the time?
You have a reason because I like art and I get the house messy.
Oh, okay. So I have a reason to yell.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like art.
What about my cooking? Do you like my cooking?
Very much.
What? Okay. All right. Well, can
My spaghetti. Well,
you ate 2 things of spaghetti?
Yeah, I'm fat. I don't want no more.
You don't need no more. You're not fat.
I
But
see that packing.
you just need to be getting you some exercise and going out playing and walking Ripley and stuff like that. Right? Okay. All right. Well, that's your interview, Mr. Tristan.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All right, guys. So, huh? Maybe next time. Okay, guys. Tonight's video is I want to talk to you a little bit about stepping out and taking a leap of faith. Okay. Everything that you do, especially when you got into the trucking industry, let me see if I can turn this light around some or whatever so it's not so much in your face. Okay, so let's talk about goals. Let's talk about things that you want to do out of in life. Just let's talk about your fears. Let's talk about stepping out on faith. Let's talk about things like things that you want to do in life that maybe you've been a little bit afraid of doing. Okay, remember this: whenever you're moving to a new level in life or when you're stepping out there trying to do different things to maybe improve your lifestyle or even maybe improve the things that you are doing as far as your career or whatever the case may be, there is always risk. I don't care if you are signing back up to go to school, going to college, going into the military, whatever the case may be, it's a risk, right? Because you don't know what the outcome is going to be and how you're going to be able to adapt to the situation, right? Everybody that comes into trucking don't like it, okay, to be honest. But the fact that you take the opportunity to see if it's something that you want to do, is stepping out on faith, because you don't know what trucking is about. You may have watched videos, you may have watched what people say about how they experience trucking, but you never know if what somebody else is doing is going to be the same as what you're doing, okay? Or you're going to get the same outcome as what they have, okay? So you taking a risk. And, you know, in my experience, from the time that I went to trucking school, went to KLLM, went through that whole process or whatever, I went in with the mindset of being open to the opportunity. And I also went in with the mindset of I didn't come out to play. Like, I didn't come out to have a lot of friends. I didn't come out to, you know, um, mess around, or, you know, just be like spending all my money and just, you know, just throwing everything out the window. I had a plan before I went into trucking of what it was that I wanted to accomplish out of this so-called career in the transportation industry. Okay. I realized at that time when I got into the industry that um, I didn't know anything. I didn't know how to drive a truck. I didn't know how to shift. I didn't know how to back a truck up. There were so many things that I did not know about the truck. I didn't know the parts of the truck. I couldn't even tell you what an S-cam was. I couldn't even tell you where the alternator was. I couldn't tell you nothing about that truck going in. Okay. But over time, you learn everything that you need to know to be able to operate and be safe in the truck over time. It doesn't come overnight. It comes with time. You have to take your time. We crawl, when we get in this industry, we get it out the mud. We crawl before we walk. You know, when you come in and you're sometimes a rookie, or they call you a rookie, or whatever the case may be, you know, that you don't know anything, you're going to make plenty of mistakes and all that kind of stuff. But over a period of time, you start to grasp what it is that you came out here to do, right? And it starts becoming the norm to you. Like, you know, you can do it with your eyes closed. You know how to back up the truck. You ain't got to get out there and put cones on it. You ain't got to sit up there and, you know, have somebody monitor you out there. You know exactly when you get to that hole, that spot, exactly how you're going to attack it, and exactly how you're going to back up in there. With that being said, that is the way that you have to attack each part of your journey throughout this industry, okay? As I told you guys before, you have a beginning and you have an end, okay? And it's up to you to decide how long you want to be in this career. We cannot do this forever, okay? So you have to have a plan for when you decide to leave and get out the industry and do something else, whether it's freight brokering, whether it's being a freight agent, whether it's being a trainer, like at a school, whether it's buying your truck, starting your business, whether it's opening up a CDL school, whatever the case may be, you have to have that somewhere in the back of your mind while you're out there grinding and doing everything that you need to do, okay? A lot of times you can get sidetracked from your goals, your visions, and things that you want to do in this career. Some of the things that will get you sidetracked is you have to learn how to have patience. You can't get upset at every little thing that happens at each and every little company, okay? You gotta find a way to work out your problems, and turn it around to make it work for you. Okay, if you let the companies agitate you, the dispatchers agitate you, people out on the road agitating you, you're going to find yourself so frustrated and bitter about this industry that you're not going to be able to not only enjoy, this career, but not be able to move forward and progress. Okay. Um, so you have to have a lot of patience. This job comes with a lot of patience, especially when you come into the industry. You have so many people that's over your livelihood. You know, they prey on if you're going to make it or not. You know, and if you're not a patient person or a person that has a high toleration for stuff, it's easy for you to get frustrated. It's easy for you to jump off another truck. It's easy for you to, be this entitled person thinking that, this person's not going to do this to me, or they're not going to speak to me like this, or whatever the case may be. All in all, these are some of the traits that you may have that may keep you from getting to your next level in your step, in your goal, in your career. Okay. You have to understand it's temporary. When you are getting into this industry and you're out there on the road with a trainer, you're not going to be out there on the road with that trainer forever. Okay, that has an end date, right? So you need to take advantage of that and make sure that you learn as much as you possibly can while you have the opportunity to have somebody else on that truck, because once that person is gone, you're by yourself. You have to do everything yourself, and everything is relies on you. Okay, so try not to waste time arguing with your trainer, or getting into situations that you may regret, as far as relationships with a trainer, and things like that. Be focused on your goal, knowing that, hey, I got 4 to 6 weeks to be on this truck, and I'm gonna try to learn as much as I possibly can while I'm here. Okay, so that I will be better prepared, because this training right here is going to help me get to the next level, right? So be focused on that. Don't get caught up in and other things. Okay, just be focused on that, because if you don't get through training, guess what? You're going to have to go through that at another company somewhere else. So don't put yourself through that. Get through it one time, one and done. Let's go. Okay. Once you get through your training period, you're going to have 3 months that, you can't move from that company. You have to be a solo driver for at least 3 months. Okay. So if you know that, go in there and knock it out. Have your set line date. Say, I done my time, whatever the case may be. And if it's somewhere that you can't stand, and you just hate, or they're just, doing all kinds of things to it's an end date, and know that within 3 months you can move somewhere else if you necessarily have to. Okay. But you do have to be a solo driver for 3 months. Okay. In the career that we're in, it's a lot of walking by faith. Okay, stepping out on faith, going from, one of the first situations that you're going to experience, not only getting in the industry, is you're going to come across a time where you're thinking about buying a truck. Is that the best plan for you? Can you absorb the cost? Are you going to be a person that is willing to hustle and stay out there as long as you need to get that truck paid off? When you're going into a lease situation, you are dedicating your livelihood to that truck for at least 5 years if you want to get it paid off. Okay. So every time that you go down this road of ownership and you switch and go to another company, you're starting that path all over again. So now if you made a goal of getting out the industry in 5 years, right? If you switch that lease up and you say, you know what, I just can't deal with this anymore. You know, I don't like my dispatcher. They're not running me. They're not doing that. If you quit on that commitment, even though it's a walkaway lease, okay, wherever you start another lease, you're starting from the beginning. Okay, so now your 5 years may turn into 6 years now. Okay, so now as well, how about you get 3 years in the lease? Okay, you still got 2 more years on the lease before it's your truck. You get 3 years in that lease, something happens, and you're like, you know what? I'm tired of the shippers. My truck keep breaking down. I'm having all these issues. I can't take it. I'm going to another company, but I'm gonna do lease again, right? You go over there and you do another lease. Now you already did 3 years over here in a lease that you was not successful in. You're going to start another lease where it has 5 more years to complete that. Okay. And if you're getting frustrated in that time from going from one lease to another lease or whatever the problem is, you're not saving your money so you don't have to be in that situation again. So you do have options. If you don't want to have to continue to go to company after company after company after company, you can be focused on saving your money to have a down payment so you can have the option instead of if it's the company's problem and you having to turn in that company's truck, you can go out and get you a truck from a outside leasing company. Therefore, if the company makes you mad or they're not running you or whatever the case may be, you're not losing your truck. You can still hold on to your truck and go to another company that suits you, okay? So, how do you get out of that circle of leasing? How do you get out of that? You get out of it one or two ways. Either you're going to work hard and you're going to complete it no matter what it takes, or you're going to focus, you're going to sacrifice, and every time you make an extra $500 or $1,000 or a bonus from a referral or whatever the case may be, you take that money and you put it to the side. So after 10 weeks, okay, 2 to 3 months, you should have enough money that you can go out and put the $3,500 down on a truck at Lone Mountain. Okay, you should have enough money that you can go put $5,000 down on a truck with a monthly payment instead of a weekly payment. You can break that cycle if you really want to. Okay, you do not have to keep continuing that circle of lease, company, lease, company. It's like duck, goose. Okay. Um, you have to learn how to take back your control. Okay. The control of your future, the control of your success, the control of what it is that you would like to do in the industry. Okay. Don't waste your time, because when you waste a lot of time, you're going to start to become bitter. You're going to, everything is negative. Everything is, this, that, and that, because it's really frustrating when you can't get ahead. Okay. Every time you look around, it's another setback. It's another setback. It's another setback. Okay. So when you're not being able to progress and be able to get ahead and reach your goals, then it's going to frustrate you. It's going to make you angry. It's going to make you bitter. It's going to make you mad. Okay. Because you're not achieving the things that you wanted to achieve when you came out here in the industry. Now, that is the road to ownership. If that's something that you want to do, is everybody that come in the trucking industry looking for ownership? No. Okay. A lot of people treat the trucking industry like a good career, and it is. You can find, I just found a driver a job making $85,000 a year. being a company driver, being able to pay his bills, being able to take care of his family, being able to buy his house, have his cars, have his home time. And that is what they want. And there's nothing absolutely wrong with that. But I will say, have a plan. If you know that you don't want to buy a truck or you don't want to lease a truck and you want to be a company driver, you want to get your 401k, you want to get your retirement, you want to be able to pay your house off, you want to be able to take care of your family, your kids, you want to be able to have all the cars you want, you can do that as being a company driver. If that's your goal, that's your focus, then in that game, you're going to look for jobs with increases. You're not going to stay at a job that's paying $40,000 a year. You know, next year you're looking for something that's 50,000. That's at least starting off at 65,000. Okay, you can get in the industry and be a company driver with benefits and everything and make over $100,000 a year. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, that's a W-2, that is buying houses, that's having a secure career. Okay, and you don't own nothing, you're not paying no, you don't have to worry about no breakdowns, you don't have to do any of that, and you can live with peace of mind knowing that everything is going to be taken care of whether this truck is running or not. Okay, so that is one way of looking at things. Is it a good way or bad way? No, it's a preference. There's no good and bad way of what it is that you want to do in the industry. It's a preference. If your preference is going towards ownership, go down that road. If your preference is going for making over $100,000 in the industry as a company driver, go down that road. Okay, don't let anybody dictate to you what you should be doing with your career. Okay, me as being a owner of a truck down in logistics and things like that, being a company driver was not my plan. Okay, it just was not my plan. I wanted to do something else. I knew that I needed to get back out into entrepreneurship and work in logistics and things like that. Okay, but in order for me to do that, I needed to have a income. You know, I needed to have an income that will help support me while I was working on this new brokerage. So paying for a truck, owning a truck gave me the ability to do that. Okay. So it just depends on, and I always tell people, you know, you don't want everybody to be bosses. I don't want, if I'm a boss, if I'm an owner, if I'm an entrepreneur and I need people to work for me, I don't want everybody to be thinking that, you know, to be an owner or whatever the case. I want people to be happy being employees. Okay. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. That's why I want to let you know. Okay. Now, once you're in this industry and you have established your set date of your exit plan or whatever the case may be, while you're driving that truck, think about things of what you would like to do after trucking. Okay. And a lot of people may think about they want to open maybe a dispatching business. They may want to open a freight broker business. They may want to be a fleet owner and buy other trucks or whatever the case may be. Start working your plan now. Start getting things prepared. Start working towards that goal as far as doing your research, figuring out how much money it is going to take for you to get out of that truck. Okay. And being an entrepreneur, you have to be willing to step out on faith. Okay. You have to be willing to take a risk. Okay. Because nothing in this industry is guaranteed. Okay. You're going to have your ups and you're going to have your downs. And the only thing that keeps you in survival mode is if you are prepared for the downs. It's not if it's going to happen, it's when. Okay. And the best survivors in this game, they stack their money and they prepare for when the bad happens. Okay. So if you prepare yourself that way, then you're going to be, okay. Then you'll be able to move on to other trucks as far as paying off one truck, getting another truck, or whatever the case may be. Okay. You always in this industry have to save your money, okay? Because once you get pay your truck off, it doesn't stop there. Once you start thinking about going into your own authority or building a fleet, that's when the money really gonna start rolling out. Okay, that's where it's really going to be. You need money for this, you're going to need money for that, you're going to need money, 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 money. Okay, so just have a plan and don't be afraid. If it's something that you want to do and you're determined about doing it, put the plan into action. Okay. Don't just talk about it, do it. Put it into action. If you want to be a freight agent or you want to get in brokering and things like that, don't just up one day go get a broker's license and you haven't even did a setup, got a customer moving loads or whatever the case may be. You just getting a broker's license because everybody else was talking about getting a broker's license, so you went out and got one too. Don't do that. Have your customers set up now. I mean, because the best opportunity that you have for being a freight agent or a freight broker is being a driver. You know why? Because you are actually out there going to see the 48 states out there, and you go by every shipper out there in the world. So at that time, you should have your pen, paper, and you should be writing down Smuckers, JMM Smuckers, Scottsville. If it come with a phone number, every freight bill, every bill of lading, everything that you get, you should be having a little notebook, keeping it to the side. Let me show you something. You see this notebook right here? Okay. You see this notebook right here? This is notebooks of every shipper, every place that I picked up, every place. I have the book, every book that I ever wrote in from the time that I came out into this industry and ran my first load. I have 6 years worth of shippers, 6 years, phone numbers, okay, location and direct phone numbers. And see, the phone numbers that we have is the phone numbers directly to the shipper's office, if y'all don't realize that, okay? The phone numbers that they put on these loads is directly to the shipper's office if you have a problem with directions or whatever. So it makes your transition when you're going over to the side of being a freight agent, okay? It makes that transition really easy. And when we're talking about building a book of business as your freight agent and you're coming in the industry as from a driver, this is your book of business. Okay, so if you've been out on a road for a year, 3 years, 5 years, and you're thinking about moving over to being a freight agent or a broker or whatever the case may be, you should have about 4 or 5 of these. Do not throw this away because it will help you in your transition over to being a agent or a broker. Okay, you will have the heads up on anybody that came into being a agent or a broker that has never been in the transportation industry. Okay. And the best thing that you can do is get to know. If you're seeing a shipper that you go out there every week, every day, these people know you. These people know, hey, Miss Tamara, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? So when I call them, 2 years later or 3 years later, and I'm saying, hey, this is Tamara. I used to run loads for y'all 3 years ago. I just got an account, guys, that I've been working on for the last 4 years. And every time I call this shipper, he would say, not at this time. You need about 4 or 5 trucks. We use somebody else. You know, it was always something different every time I called him. But I was so determined to get him as a customer. One is because the loads that they run are so you know, like it's pick up and go. You know what I'm saying? So and it was right in a spot where I knew a lot of drivers like to get the load from, and it's in Mississippi and all this kind of stuff. So this time I just took a chance and I'm like, let me follow up and call and see if I can get to them again. Even the people, when I used to go over there and pick up the load when I was a driver, the people who worked in the warehouse used to tell me who to contact. I said, well, you know, who's in charge of moving loads and stuff like that? They said, oh, you need to talk to such and such. So even though I was not able to, you know, call them or talk to them at that time because I didn't have a license, I wasn't an agent, I was just a driver, but I can write it down. And whenever I do decide that, you know, I'm going into the industry or whatever, I already got that person's name. So I called and I said, could you stop or go in the room? I called and I said, hello. I said, this is Tamara Brock with Brock Logistics. I said, I was calling to see if I can speak with your shipping or management, I mean, shipping or receiving department, please. And she said, sure, hold on just 1 second. So when I get to the shipper office, you know, they answer the phone. They say, shipping, how may I help you? I said, hi. I said, this is Tamara with Rock Logistics. And I was wondering if I could speak with the person that's in charge of moving your freight. Oh, he said, oh, that's such and such. That's such and such. Hold on. When that person says at that time, that is such and such, and they give you their name, their first and last name, at that time, you need to have a pen and a piece of paper in your hand because they done gave you the direct person that you need to talk to. So whenever it is that you may have to call that number back or whatever the case may be, you no longer have to ask for shipping and receiving. You can ask for Jim Bob because they done told you who Jim Bob was. They told you he was a traffic manager and he's in charge of moving loads. So you don't need to talk to anybody else but Jim Bob, right? Okay, hold on. That's Jim Bob. Jim Bob, hold on 1 second. Let me transfer you over there to him. So I got Jim Bob's number, right? So I call, so he rings the phone over there to Jim Bob, and Jim Bob say, hello, traffic, this is Jim. And I say, hey, Jim, this is Tim with Brock Logistics. And you told me to give you a call back because y'all was picking up. And, you know, I just want to let you know I'm ready. I got all my trucks. I said, we are ready to go. We don't have to do any paperwork. We got everything in place, whatever the case may be. Can I get your email address or can I send you my email address so I can be added to your load list? And, you know, I don't know what it is about me having a way with people, but before I knew it, he said, oh yeah, Tamara, here, give me, here's my email address. It's such and such. And when somebody actually spells their email address out to you, you better go get that business. Okay. He spelled it out. Oh, it's this, oh no, not with an S, it's with a D, or not with a B, it's a D, and that at .com. I said, okay, all right. So sometimes you have to pay attention and make sure that you get that email address right, okay? Because if not, it'll come back, return to sender or whatever the case may be. Get the email address right. So that was my gateway in the door. So I will give it like a day or two or whatever the case may be. If I don't hear back, I'm calling back because I already know what it comes to. Now, we don't already had the conversation. I told you I got my trucks out here waiting on you. What's the problem? Put me on the list so I could go ahead and get to working on this because you don't have time to be, you know, waiting on people to come move your loads. Now I got all these trucks waiting. So come on and let's get the list going so we can, you know, we can make this happen. Okay. So, but that is your gateway as a driver. That is your gateway as a driver. People call and they say, can you do it? Can you do it if you got a full-time job? Can you be an agent if you got a full-time job? I tell people, I tell y'all all the time, I done said this on many, 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 many videos. You can do anything that you want to do. But one thing for sure is if you do not have a hustle mentality, and what I mean by hustle mentality is if you can't get up at crack of dawn in the morning and be willing to work to maybe after the sun go down or whatever the case may be, you're going to get out of this industry what you put in it. So if you don't put zero effort in it, you will get zero response. Okay, it's just as easy as that. If you're going to sit and think that you're going to get a check at the end of the week, and I know, guys, I know everybody has made freight agent and freight training and dispatch service and brokering and all this kind of stuff. I know so many people have made it like it's the best thing since sliced bread, and you're gonna come out here and you're gonna make $100,000, and all you gotta do is sit behind the desk, and the loads are gonna come in, and you're just gonna be moving them. And not only are you gonna be moving them, you're just gonna be getting paid all this kind of money. Okay. Now, maybe you get lucky, or maybe you get somewhere that you could do this, but speaking from experience, from being on my own as a broker, it's a hustle, and you got to be willing and ready to be on top of your hustle every day, all day. It's something to do, whether it's researching, whether it's contacting people through email, whether it's making calls, whether it's doing it on LinkedIn, whether it's whatever the case may be. It's like so many different ways that you can get to a person to move their loads. And when you tell them that you're going to be, moving their loads for them and all this kind of stuff, you better be prepared to do it. You got to post it. You got to find drivers. It's a lot. It's not just, we get the load list and post the load and everybody just gonna run and take the load. Okay. You got to negotiate. It's a lot. It's a lot. So if you're not about that hustle, or you're not about that focus, and you're not being driven, and I could see it on people's face when I'm training. Okay. That's why I do one-on-one training. Okay. Because I could see it in their face after I get through with the first day or the first 2 hours that they're actually in the system, and I'm showing them exactly what they need to do and how they need to call and all this kind of stuff. It's like, what? This ain't how they said it was going to be at the training class. you know you mean you're going to have to actually do this and that and the other? And I'm like, yeah, yep, yep. And just because you found your shipper, you ain't in the clear. Now, just because he sent you a load list, you're not in the clear. You only get in the clear when you only get in the clear when the driver pick up the freight. Okay, when you book the load. Y'all, I got my, can I just a little bit? What is that? What is that? Oh, that's my Dunn's number. Okay, what is that? Y'all see that? This right here is a packet that I have because I'm approved with FEMA, okay? And I am going to be doing a video on how to get approved with FEMA, and I'm gonna walk you through it. Please, if you're not my client, you're not my customer, do not call me asking questions. I'm not doing that, okay? I'm gonna tell you the information. You're gonna have to take it on your own and learn how to do it, okay? Please do not call me. But they're getting ready to open up bidding for FEMA. It opens up. I just got an email. So I got to get all my carriers approved for FEMA. Okay. I got an email the other day saying that enrollment time. So enrollment opens up, guys. Let's see, for the day operation, user account has been revised. Okay. So I got to, what I'm going to be working on is getting my carriers that I already, not my carriers, but the people who I set up their authorities, the people that pay me to set up their authorities. I will also be helping them and assisting them with setting up for FEMA and getting approved for FEMA. Okay. And going and doing that paperwork. So I will do a training on FEMA and let you know how you can get set up with them, because where's my email? I'm looking for my email. You know, when you try to find something, you can't find it, but I got an alert and say it's time for us to renew and start doing our bidding. So the bank called me today because FEMA, the government banks with US Bank. Okay, this is US Bank. Okay, the government banks with US Bank. Okay, so you don't need no factoring company, none of that kind of stuff. If you move a government load and you're set up, they can't put you on the list. They can't give you anything if you're not set up with the bank. So once my thing is set up, I had so much on my mind last week, and with the funeral and everything, my case person from the bank called, like the manager of the account called, and he was like, Ms. Brock, I said, yes. He said, hey, we sent you the paperwork to sign up for, to get you, money for your FEMA and stuff. And I can't turn it in for your bids because you haven't filled out the paperwork. And I was like, oh my God. So he said, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send it to you again, sign it, put all the information in there, and email it directly back to me so I can go ahead and you could be seen. So so the government can see that you already authorized in there as the bank. And there's no problem if they wanted to send you something to do, right? So I got that completed and sent that over to him today, so I can start moving freight for the government. Okay, but I will do that on my video, and I will break down and I will show you my screen and all that kind of stuff, and show you how to set up. Child, people don't want me. They're gonna get me. They don't want me showing y'all this stuff, but I'm gonna show it to you anyway. Okay. Okay. Show you how to get set up so you could be in there as a carrier and bid on your stuff, and also get approved. But I'm just showing you an overall um, FEMA transportation. Here it is. All right, let me share this with y'all. Hold on one second. I'll go ahead and do it tomorrow to share screen. Hold on one moment. Can y'all see my screen? Is that my screen? Hold on. Stop sharing. Let me see something. Oh yeah, y'all can see it. Y'all can see it. Hold on. Okay. That's my screen. Okay. It says, good morning, tenders. The 2021 program will begin December the 3rd, 2020, and will close February the 12th, 2021. Okay, so they will do a webinar, and what I will do for existence, your current eligibility will expire April 21st, and once you have received approval for the 21st program, you are eligible to the 22nd, the April of 2022. Okay, so I have to get, here's the flyer. So I have to get my, let me stop sharing my screen. Okay, so I have to get, I'm gonna get all my authority people, the people that I set up with the authority, I will have them in the FEMA transportation system for 2021. Okay, so basically that's what I'm doing that class for. Other than that, guys, I don't know how long I've been on here, but this is just my nightly thing that I'm doing. Just sharing you my thoughts and things like that. And instead of doing live feeds, I'm gonna be just doing regular videos. Okay. Peace, love, joy, and happiness. Each one teach one. And you guys later. Do I stop the recording? Yeah, stop the recording.